What's going on YouTube? This is ParkerLad88 coming at you with another video. Today I've got a deck profile for you guys, an updated deck profile of my beloved Speedroids. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get into our main deck. The first thing we do is we start off by running 3 copies of Terratop. Terratop is our Cyber Dragon / Searcher. Gotta run 3 of it. Next up, we run 2 copies of Tom Borg, or Tom Tom as I call him. It's much simpler. You can special summon this guy if you control any wind monster, and then you can tribute him in order to special summon a Speedroid tuner from straight from your deck. But you can't, go for anything but wind monsters for the rest of the turn you activate that. It's actually really important because you can go for all your crazy stuff, and then once you're going to use Tom Borg's effect, it's the last thing that you do. So it's a restriction, but it's not the biggest restriction. You can still go for a lot of crazy stuff with him. But anyway, run him at 2. Next up, we have the main tuner of the deck, which is Red Eye Die. Can make any of your Speedroid monsters other than himself a level between 1 and 6, just like a regular old Die, main tuner. Next up, we have a new tuner, and my second favorite tuner, in the form of Denden Daiko Duke. So what this thing does is you can banish it from your graveyard to special summon a Speedroid tuner other than himself from your hand or from your graveyard. Really helps you extend and go for more synchro plays. Then the last Speedroid we run is 1 copy of Double Yo-Yo. This is the Altair of the deck, lets you get back any of these other Speedroids right here, level 3 or lower. So, once again, he's also good. I tried running this deck without him to just increase the speed or whatever, but you really need this guy at least 1 if you're actually running, legitimately Speedroids. Let's go ahead and get into the rest of the deck. So, in this version, we have a Super Quant engine, so we are running 3 copies of the blue layer. This is our Recycler / Searcher. We have 2 copies of the red layer. Red layer is your Cyber Dragon / Warrior Returning Alive / Monster Reborn for all of your Super Quant guys. Then we have our Satellar Knight Vega, like one for your Super Quants in the form of green layer. Lets you special summon other Super Quants like the level 5 guy straight from your hand. And then when you send to the graveyard, you can toss a Super Quant card from your hand in order to get an extra draw. So it gives the deck a little bit of draw power, and I like that. Next up, we have 2 copies of Super Quantal Fairy Alphin, or just Super Quantal Bunny, as I like to call him. So Super Quantal Bunny has 2 effects. One is it level modulates. You target 1 Super Quant monster on your side of the field, and then all of the monsters you currently control, not just Super Quants, become the same level as that monster. So it's really good for helping you go for the level 5, mech, and just, other kind of crazy plays. He also has another ability that says that you can tribute him, and you get 3 Super Quant monsters, like any ones. You shuffle them up, your opponent picks one of them, and that one gets special summoned to the field. All the other ones go to your graveyard. So it really helps you thin your deck out and activate the effects of your Super Quant guys, especially if you hit the ones you want. The last card that we run is 2 copy of Max C. So as long as special summoning is relevant in this game, Max C I think is always a good option in the side deck for, anybody who has space for it. I definitely do, so I like running this in my deck. And be it this is a combo-oriented deck, the more pieces that I can get, the better. So, good for Maxi. Also, it's an easy side-out option for my side deck, which I think I actually might do for you guys, because, I've never shown you guys my side deck for this deck, or for a lot of decks. I know I haven't done it for this one. Spells. We have Foolish Burial, lots of things that we actually want in the graveyard, like triggering our layers, getting Terratop in the grave to reborn it with either Speed Recovery or Double Yo-Yo. We've got Soul Charge. Bunny plus Soul Charge is Megazord, and that's good enough of a reason for me to run it. Plus, being able to get back my Terratops and trigger the effects of my Super Quant guys off this thing is also pretty good as well. Next up, we have 1 copy of the field spell, Magna Carrier. Lets us go for our Megazord. It also lets us exceed easier. Basically, if we have out, one of our Power Ranger guys, we target it, discard a card, and then we basically go for the Zord that they're supposed to go for. So blue, you get the blue Zord. We have 1 for 1. I can go straight into Alphin or any of the tuners from this. I like this card. We have 2 copies of Instant Fusion, so we can get to our Norden all the faster. I'm still debating on whether I want to run another instant fusion target. I've been back and forth between that, but for now, just, so I don't have a second one that's dead. I usually don't run into having multiple instant fusions in all the games I've done, but still just having an extra target in there would make me feel better. We have 2 copies of E-Teleport for our blue layer, 2 Twin Twisters because we don't like back row, and 3 copies of Speed Recovery for all of our Speedroid monsters to reborn them. And this has another nifty ability that says that I can Roy returning alive one of my Speedroids by banishing this. Plus, the monster reborning effect isn't once per turn, so that's also a very handy ability as well. As long as I have this in my grave and another Speedroid, I always have a way to put some stuff on the board. In the event that my field gets wiped out or something like that. So that does it for the spells, very low spell lineup. For our traps, we run Vanities, Strike, Bottomless, Solemn, Horn of Heaven, and Call of the Haunted. Once again, the Super Quants, they get their effects whenever they hit the graveyard, so comboing that with Horn of Heaven is good, and then Call of the Haunted is good for Terratops and the Super Quants, so yeah. Let's move into the extra deck. We're going to start off with our 5s here. We have Hagoita and Chamba Rider. Chamba Rider is our double attacker that gains a permanent 200 every time he attacks. And then Hagoita has the ability to reborn itself from the graveyard if you control a Speedroid tuner. It also has another ability that says that once per turn during either player's turn, you can increase the level of all monsters on the field by 1 just by sending this guy to the graveyard. So you can really dick around with your opponent and screw up their Xyz plays. Next up, we have 1 copy of Stardust Charge. I just want to have my bases covered as far as my synchros, so we have 1/6 that gives me an extra draw. The ability to attack all special summon monsters, that's also kind of nifty as well, but he's mostly just there for the draw. Next up, we have Clear Wing Synchro Dragon, definitely a good synchro. He negates the effects of level 5 or higher monsters, or if you activate an effect that targets a level 5 or higher monster, exactly 1, he can negate that as well, and then he gains the attack of the monster that he destroys with this effect, since it negates and destroys. It's pretty good. It's not the most difficult card to play around, but you still have to think sometimes if you don't really understand entirely how this guy works. For our 8s, we have Stardust, we have Scarite. For our 9, we have Trishna, and then of course, through the secret, I've discovered the secret of Mega Evolution, and through that, we have Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, or Mega Clear Wing, as I like to call him sometimes. So Mega Clear Wing has the ability to just negate any monster effect 1 time. That activates anywhere, as opposed to Clear Wing, who can just negate monster effects on the field. This is the ability Mold Breaker. So Clear Wing innately has the ability of Mold Breaker, but with Crystal Wing, not only do you get the ability of Mold Breaker, but you also get the ability Moxie. Whenever this thing attacks into a level 5 or higher monster, he gains all its attack, which means that, you can't drop an Honest on this because he'll just absorb the attack of that thing too. So you're guaranteed to deal 3,000 to the face with this guy, and you're definitely guaranteed to run over a bunch of stuff. So I like that he gets big. And that does it for our synchros. For our XCs, we of course run the 3 Zords. Magna Liger, Ouroboros, and Grampulse. Grampulse is an MST with the blue layer, Ouroboros is a Book of Moon with the green layer, and Magna Liger is an Offering to the Doom with the red layer. So yeah, they're pretty good, and they all come together in order to make the Super Quantal Mech King greatest of Magnuses. So for you guys who don't know what this guy does, depending on how many Xyz materials with different names you have, not just Super Quants, but just materials with different names, he gains the following effects. If you have 2 or more, then he can spin a card back to your opponent's deck. That effect doesn't target, and he can do it during either player's main phase. I don't know whether it wasn't just during either player's turn, but I don't know. Anyway, so during the main phase he can do that. If he has 4 or more, he's unaffected by anything that's not a Super Quant card, and if he has 6 or more, your opponent cannot add cards from their deck to their hand. So having a built-in Thunder King Ryo effect just to put the cherry on top for this guy. Plus, if he goes to the graveyard, you get back, all 3 of these, and that's definitely cool. I would run more if I could, but I don't have the space. But I definitely like having the options between the synchros and then, Super Quant. We have 1 Castel, because I had extra space for another Xyz, and Castel is one of the best generic Xyz out there. And then, of course, we have the 1 Norton. So I really like this deck. This deck is a bunch of fun. The fact that there is a green layer that is a wind monster, and Decay Tumbor can special summon himself, and the fact that, you know, you can get their effects off of going for synchro plays and stuff like that. It really brings the deck together. It's a lot of fun. I'd recommend you guys give this a try. But either way, that was my Super Quant Speedroid deck profile, my update to Speedroids. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back at you later with future videos. This is Parker Lad, out. So really quick, guys, I want to go ahead and show you my side deck. I actually forgot that I told you that I was going to show you my side deck, so let's go ahead and do that. So, the first card I run is Raigeki. Raigeki is just, you know, it's for mass removal. It's probably more so for Rogue than anything else. MST, one extra MST. I don't want to run an extra copy of Twin Twisters because I do have discard fodder for Twin Twister, but I don't have, like, a bunch. It's not like I'm playing Burning Abyss where everything I get, everything I send gets, good effects off of being sent to the graveyard, so I like going to Twin Twister 1 MST as opposed to just getting 3 Twin Twister. We have 2 Gameciel, almost everybody's running Gameciel. It really helps get around problems that I can't, you know, normally get around. Like, it's mostly for dealing with Narcs, or for dealing with stuff like Vortex Dragon for Perform Pals, or dealing with Beatrice if I can't get around Beatrice. Different things like that. 2 of that. I have 2 Flying Sea, mostly for the Burning Abyss matchup as well. 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance for, you know, Pendulums. 2 Mask of Restrict for Monarchs. Imperial Iron Wall for Cosmo and for Narcs. I usually don't really use it for Narcs, but I can use it against Narcs. Mostly if I just get the Mask of Restrict, I'm pretty good. And the last thing we run is with 3 copies of Drolan Lockbird. I love Drolan Lockbird. Ever since Full Powered Pepe, I feel like Drolan Lockbird has always been a really good choice. It's great against Monarchs. It's great against any variant with Perform Pals in it, because they always run the 3 searchers and they just try and go search, 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 search. You know, Lizard, Droggy, Turtle, draw cards, blah, blah, blah. If you drop this on to Nasty, Monarchs can't do anything unless they have everything they need right then and there. And it's also good against Demise Cleese as well. If they get off Cleese Search, they can't use Card Demise. They use Card Demise, they can't, you know, do anything else with, like, with Scout or anything like that. Or if they go ahead and they activate Advanced, what is it? I can't remember what the normal searcher is. Yeah, I cannot remember what it is. But you guys know what I'm talking about. That spell card that lets you search for level 5 or higher normal monsters. It's also good for that too. If they go ahead and they search the Clee Scout, they can't activate Clee Scout in order to search either. So I pretty much live by this card, this format, and last format too. In the regionals I did, it actually helped out a lot when I was playing Narcs that one time. It's just, if I ever couldn't win, it's because I couldn't capitalize, because my hand just sucked when I was playing Narcs. But anyway, guys, that's my side deck, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little tidbit as well. Alright guys, I'll catch you later. Bye.